The Book of True Life, Teachings of the Divine Master, Volume 12, Spiritual Teaching 363, Love Each Other. 1. Beloved disciples, come to hear the word that will make you strong. Have the conviction of the truth of my work, so that you practice it, and with your example, you can show it to your brothers. 2. When man regenerates, when my truth reigns in him, and his virtues triumph over his worldly passions, then you will have understood my work. 3. Great is the work of my workers, and the way to go is very long. His work has begun, and the seed is sown, but other workers will come to collect the fruit, to sow the seed again through time. In you are my people, to make my work be recognized at this time, and that humanity receives the grace of my infinite wisdom as he had never been able to feel. 4. My light, by spreading throughout the universe, has given rise to the search for my truth in each doctrine. That is the reason for the attitude of men in their different beliefs. 5. It is the fulfillment of what has been prophesied. Who is he who carries the truth? Who is he that with sheepskin encloses the hungry wolf inside? Who is he who with clean clothing ensures absolute purity within himself? 6. You must practice spiritualism to find my truth, because humanity has been divided into so many beliefs and ideas as the brain of man elevates. 7. Thus, sects and religions have been formed, and it will be very difficult for you to judge about the truth that is in each of them. 8. My doctrine illuminates the thoughts and ideas of man, and little by little each one will understand the basis to perfect his works by channeling them along a more perfect and elevated path. 9. Spiritualism is not a new doctrine that comes to achieve the evolution of the beliefs of past ages. No, it is the same revelation of the first and second eras. It is the basis of all religions, which at this time of division I have come to remind humanity so that it does not forget its principles. The works of man, their customs and ways of impressing the senses to flatter themselves and conceal themselves in their different religions, they are against what my work comes to show the world. 10. I, through the Messiah, left you the perfect doctrine so that there would be an understanding of love between men. His works were a blessing to the world. Now we think again of Christian principles, but the world is so far away from them that only the trials that humanity is experiencing will make it remember the love that the Master taught by his example. 11. My doctrine is the light you must seek, so that peace always reigns among humanity. 12. In every act that carries good purposes, my work is manifested. It is an essential part of everything that man can build for charitable purposes and with true purposes of helping humanity, of bringing people closer together, to guide men down the path of elevation and nobility. 13. The spirituality that I come to teach you again is the divine work that, being so great, can be limited to manifest itself in an act of love. But do not go wrong and remain subject to the practices of any religion, nor do you follow the ideas that other men have established as immutable. 14. I have told you that my work does not come to divide you, that you must unify your thoughts. Do good, sharing my teachings with your brothers. If they practice them, no matter what their doctrine is, they will feel spirituality when they pour out their love among their brothers. 15. There are many who understand the spiritual essence of my work and practice it for the satisfaction it gives to lavish love and charity. 16. When the time comes, When my word is no longer heard through human understanding, there will be those who try to speak, usurping my name, but I have already told you that they will be impostors. 17. I will not leave you alone. Your understanding will continually receive my inspiration. I will be in your words, in your acts. You can continue meeting to remember my word. For this I have allowed you to remain written, to be the subject of constant study in you. But it is not my will that in your meetings to have materialized practices, because what I have taught you would degenerate into rites and traditions. 18. I have given you my work. Each of you has a path to follow, an obligation to fulfill. Adjust your needs to the teachings of my doctrine. In all your acts you will find the opportunity to love and forgive your neighbor, to forgive your brothers, not under a mystical aspect, but as a natural act, according to the moment of evolution that you live. In this way, the world will gradually go understanding my work. 19. If humanity had listened, understood, and analyzed my teaching, a path of truth and love would be open before him on the horizon, and he would not be passing the tests of pain and anxiety in which he finds himself. 20. Understand that no one is just or perfect. Your faults are great. You fight with yourselves. It is precisely why I have given you my charity. 21. Like that group of disciples I chose, who mourned the departure of the Messiah, but who later had the divine inspiration and their minds lit up, and they gave their lives to defend my work. So you too will cry the departure of the Master in his manifestations, but your brain will open. Your heart will be inflamed with love and charity towards your brothers and sisters, and you will continue to love me by loving and forgiving your neighbor. 22. Then my truth will manifest spiritually, and everything will be greater, just, and true. 23. If humanity is not in harmony with the universal law that governs all creation, a disorder will come that will manifest in the force of the elements. 24. Man has broken down the atoms. His evolved brain takes advantage of this discovery to obtain greater forces and cause death. 25. If man had evolved spiritually along with his science and his intellect, he would have taken advantage of the discovery of new elements for the benefit of humanity. But his spiritual backwardness is great. Therefore, his egotistic mind has channeled his creative force to the detriment of humanity, using elements of destruction, departing from the principles of love and charity. So when you watch the rainfall from the sky of fire, it will not be because the sky itself opens or the fire of the sun torches you. No, it is the work of man that will sow death and destruction. 26. At this time I have come to remind you of my doctrine of love, and tomorrow the children of your children will be able to listen to the echo of my voice, inviting you to reconsider, to realize that there are forces greater than they can destroy. 27. I tell you, just as I then said to my disciples, watch and pray, lest you fall into temptation, because times of bitterness you will contemplate. But if your faith is great, you will see that everything is for the benefit of humanity, and in the future, when men who have only worked for hatred and destruction understand, the forces of nature will be unleashed for the benefit of humanity, and they will lavish love and remain in peace. Then the spirit will find a more conducive path for its evolution, because I, O beloved disciples, I have come to give you peace and comfort. I have told you about a better life, and I have revealed to you the great wonders that your spirit will be able to show to the world. For you will give sight to the blind and heal the sick of the spirit with my word of love. You will cause the paralyzed to leave their bed to follow me. 28. The time will come when by your fulfillment in spirituality, you will understand me better. Then you will feel united, and there will be joy in your spirit. Then you will all know how to watch and pray, so that my work will be contemplated by the world with the purity with which I have entrusted it to you. 29. The time will come when each sect and religion scrutinizes itself to look for what belongs to my work, but to find that treasure, it will be that they need to raise their spirits and listen to the voice of consciousness. 30. Today the Master continues to teach you and convert men into true Christians. 31. You, my disciples, do not know when you will see the end of your mission, when you will succeed in your struggle, because from generation to generation you will continue working to ensure that spirituality is in humanity. You will cross borders and seas. You will go to the provinces, regions, and nations to make my truth known. 32. Just as in the second era, when my disciples, bathed in the light of the Holy Spirit, rose without fear of the world and without measuring the distances to deliver my doctrine, so you will prepare yourself, and when the time comes, you will rise to the fulfillment of your mission. 33. In this era, I have found myself as a master of teachers. I have never given you a lie. I have always spoken to you with humble and simple verb, so that your spirit and heart could feel me and feed with the essence that strengthens, that vivifies. 34. I know you, and in all the times in which I have sent you to reincarnate, I have manifested myself before you. Even so, your brain cannot remember your past reincarnations. 35. I have never diverted your plant from the path of fulfillment. I have never given you a different law or led you along the paths that man has drawn. In each time, humanity has traveled at its own free will and has shown the multitudes of deities he has forged in his brain. False words and prophecies have sprouted from his lips, and there have been weak hearts, chained spirits that have not been able to free themselves and know that an eternal life awaits them. 36. Yes, Israel, the heart has always searched for material objects to worship. The ear has been recreated with the flowery word. By this, what I gave in the second era as Christian doctrine, man modified it by converting it into a religion. Selfishness, greed, and vanity have always been awakened in the human heart, and they have become kings and lords to make the people bow down to them and make them a vassal, a slave, chain them to sin, and lead them to darkness, disorientation, and confusion. 37. The world ignored me in Messiah, nailed me to the tree, and later turned the cross into an object of idolatry, and before it he prostrated himself to beg forgiveness. Today you find yourself feeding materialism, hatred, and ill will. The humanity of today, she is living in the third height of wickedness. 38. On the path of life, the old man, the young man, the maiden, and the child have lost their way, and they cannot find the perfect path that I have drawn with my examples of love and charity. 39. The great multitudes have forgotten how to seek their Creator. The spirits have allowed themselves to be guided by matter, and today they are sobbing because they have lost grace and power, which my charity gave you the moment I sent you to earth. 40. What has happened to Israel? What has mankind tasted until today? What has everyone found along the way? only thorns and thistles, the war of ideas. All mankind is involved in confusion, and who is to undo what man has messed up, what has been wrong? Who has to deliver what he needs, so that she can be guided by this law, by this doctrine, and by this light? I, the Comforter, who descends in the third era, in the cloud, to speak to the people and teach them, to let them know once again that they have lost everything along the way, and that I, as Creator, I have taken him by the hand to lead him along my path, to introduce him to spiritual life. 41. Tomorrow, great events will testify what I have given you in prophecy, and because of the pain caused by the elements in the regions and nations, men will rise looking for the people of Israel. 42. Warlike sentiment and plagues, diseases, hunger advance, and as a consequence of this, man does not have tranquility in his heart or in his home. And by chance have I desired it, and my divine spirit descends to indulge in your pain and suffering? No, beloved people, an infinite sadness exists in my divine spirit. 43. Humanity has forgotten the blessed maxim that I gave it in the second era: love one another. 44. I have prepared an age in which humanity will rise up in obedience, and your children's children will contemplate the greatness that I am going to pour out on this earth. Because my will must be fulfilled in this world that I surrendered as an earthly paradise, and the time will come in which the spirits will come to this planet that in a great way they have evolved, they have fought, and my divine light will bathe the earth, and it will be the fulfillment of my law. 45. Remember my word until the last moment of your life in matter, and your consciousness will remind you of everything that in my word you listened and had forgotten. 46. At that last moment, your spirit will desire one more moment of life to be able to fulfill it, but your destiny has to be fulfilled. 47. I have said that the time of confusion will come, of disobedience, in which the worker will get up, saying that my communication through human understanding will not cease, but the moment will have to come when my word comply, even if the man wants to interfere with my will. 48. How many mistakes along the way have many of those to whom I have entrusted a position and a grace made? How much incomprehension! I contemplate that it is going to be unleashed in my children after the year 1950. 49. With incomprehension and folly, man retains my charity, power, and grace, and is outside the true path of the law, of harmony, and of truth. 50. I do not come to deny what I have given you years ago. From the year 1884, on the first pedestal, I spoke to the people, and I prophesied that a time would come in which my word would no longer be manifested among the people, and when I contemplated the distress seized hearts, I let them know in a simple word that 1950 would be the last year for the demonstration of my teaching through the understanding of the spokesman, a word given in the same house of prayer, that her name is Damiano Oviedo. 51. Once again, Israel will be unknown, tribe by tribe. Once again, he will tear himself apart and want to trample on the clean and pure law that I gave into his hands. Once more, Israel will seek the ways of old to fall into idolatry and fanaticism, will search the sects, and he will enter into confusion and darkness, and will recreate himself with the flowery and false word that man has to deliver to him. 52. How much pain the servants who have not understood my law have caused my heart, and how much pain they are causing those who, having prepared and delivered them, today have given room for doubt, uncertainty, have said for their incomprehension and selfishness that I have to stay a while more among the people, that my universal ray according to his human will, and that I will continue to manifest for a long time. That is why I have told you. When have I expressed indecision, uncertainty, or double will in my word? Never. In truth, because it would cease to be perfect. It would cease to be your God and your Creator. 53. In me there is the decision, the unique will, and therefore I speak with the light of noon, so that everyone can feel me in my presence and in my power, so that the Spirit can recognize the reason and the word that I have delivered through human understanding. 54. The Master tells you, man has forged houses and named them temples, and in those places the people who penetrate bows, feeds fanaticism and idolatry, and worships what man himself has created. This is abominable before me. Look, and for this reason it has pleased me to remove from you, people of Israel, all that you knew and heard at first, so that you do not lose heart. 55. The houses of prayer of Israelite people will be known to humanity. They will not be closed, because shelter they will give to the weak and the lost, the weary and the sick, and for your preparation, for your obedience to my supreme will, and abide by my law, I will make myself known in the works of the true disciples of my divinity. 56. Do not worry that bad spokesmen, bad guides, bad workers get up on the road, that their lip is blasphemous. Speak to the peoples and say that even my word and my universal ray will remain among the people as a teaching. I will give to know who the impostor is, who is the one who is not complying with the law according to my will, who is the one who he makes his free will present, and I will make known the work that he has forged and the law that he has prepared. And they will be unknown and exiled, because I will retain grace and divine power, and temptation will make you fall into their nets, and therefore everyone who seeks them will not feel the grace of my Holy Spirit in their spirit. 57. Men of religions and sects, when contemplating that Israel is divided, that Israel is unknown and weakens, will seek reasons to snatch the priceless jewel, to snatch the ark of the new covenant, and they will say tomorrow that they are the true invoice between humanity and the representatives of my divinity. 58. You all know the meaning of the first commandment of the law. You will love God more than your parents and your children, more than yourself, and also everything you have on earth. If you do so, you will feel the peace. Your sorrows will be mild, and the elements will be gracious to you. You will pass on the tests destined to perfect your spirit without you feeling broken. 59. If you come to understand this precept and practice it, you will be satisfied with your destiny. You will love humanity, and you will respect this life. There will be righteousness in your works, and you will apply your gifts for your good and of your kind. 60. It is true that the path that I have traced for you is not a pleasant path, but one of renunciation and strict fulfillment of my mandates, but it is not sacrificial. Love and charity do not mean pain. Rather, they are joy and life for the spirit, and I offer you this delight so that you may know true spiritual pleasure. 61. Your pains, you have worked them by moving away from the fulfillment of the law. Do you want to stop the advance of the war and its consequences? Love and forgive. Share your bread, and you will feel more satisfied. Trust in the efficiency of divine laws, in their wisdom and justice, and you will be protected by them. 62. Be spirits that watch over your works and live in constant prayer and preparation, so that you may be strong before the temptations, and in truth you will come to overcome the reigning materialism. In the beginning your steps will be hesitant, like those of a child who begins to walk, but later you will become strong. You will acquire knowledge until reaching the development of gifts, whose value is invaluable on earth. 63. If you undertake the path, you will become men of great virtues, and you will be able to master your subject and to live spiritually. On your journey, you will have consciousness as a beacon. It will be your friend and your judge. She will always speak to you truthfully, and her dictations will be fair and precise the moment you need them. That voice is my always tender and loving voice that points out the good to you. 64. Who can fear me, who is the Father and Lord of your life? I formed with infinite love everything you know, and even what is unknown to you, to your delight and lasting happiness. Do not doubt who loves you infinitely more than you can conceive and achieve with your mind. Remember the meaning of my passion, and when you have understood who you are, you will turn your gaze to the Father, pious, to grant me your love and obediently submit to my laws. 65. I have come to give you my word, that like a heavenly concert comes to give you life. I find some of you sleeping in your deep lethargy, and as I gave life to Lazarus, so today I come to awaken your spirit to the life of grace. Take my strength and stand up, so that you will embark on the path that will lead you to the life of the Spirit, which is eternal life. 66. Little time remains for me to raise my word, but before doing so, I want to leave you prepared to fulfill the mission that I have destined for you. I want to show you the works that are pleasing to my divine grace. 67. I find myself delivering to your understanding the book that you will have to read and analyze tomorrow. In it you will find, after my departure, the fire of my love, and to your brothers you will share their divine lessons that are of intelligence, knowledge, power, and summary of my divinity. 68. In this third age, I have come to teach you that you are all children of one Father, that you are all brothers before my infinite charity, and that to all spirits I have given the same gifts. 69. People, a new stage of fulfillment begins for you, in which you must make my teachings known, because you are my disciples, my chosen ones, and you must be prepared, so that, in imitation of me, you will sow the seed of love for the ways of humanity. But do not think that your brothers will believe you, because of many from them you will only receive mockery and contempt. But the seed will be born, and they will come to me. 70. When all the elements and all creation give proofs and manifestations of my justice, do not take it as a punishment. It will only be a test that will make humanity that has not listened to my word come to recognize its error. After going through confusion and bitterness, attributing to various causes the commotion of the elements, more you should not be confused. You should be prepared to emerge triumphant from the test with true faith, love, and charity for your brothers, which will serve to save the multitudes. 71. Prepare, O people of Israel. I leave you my grace, so that you continue to be the strong ones. Make the call to humanity. I want to manifest myself in each heart. I want to make myself felt in each spirit, giving it the water and the bread to feed it and comfort it. Understand that humanity is going to feel thirsty, and that you should not let it suffer in the desert. My peace be with you.